Hello everyone, Derek with Tatango.com. Have some breaking news, at least within the last day, that I think is going to have a major impact on RCS business messaging. And that's not carriers, that's not adoption by handsets, it's actually email marketing. So when you're sending out a mass text message right now, usually what it is compared to is a mass email. So if you're a retailer, you're sending out a coupon, most of the time you're sending out a similar type coupon via email and via SMS or MMS. And up to now, email has had really kind of the benefit of some functionality that SMS doesn't have. You can link up things, so you can, instead of just putting the link, you can actually like hyperlink words. You can put multiple images, bigger images, obviously. It's a little bit better, I would say, email marketing. Now, there are some advantages in terms of like open rates for SMS or MMS marketing, but in terms of functionality for email, it is a little bit better. Now, with RCS business messaging, it was going to be way better RCS business messaging over email. There was going to be things like carousels, so you could swipe through images right within the message, things like buttons. You could have conversations, pretty cool stuff. So everybody's super excited. It looks like the pendulum had completely shifted and messaging was going to finally win in terms of functionality. And then Google today or yesterday drops the fact that AMP is now available for email marketers. So what is AMP? It's kind of like RCS messaging in terms of some of the functionality. It's essentially allowing marketers to build brand experiences within the email client rather than click on this button and go out somewhere else. So let me show you just kind of the image that they were sharing today. So I'm going to let it cycle real quick. So if you watch right now, within the email, they're able to click through. Now, you can't swipe on an email. They're clicking on the email like a carousel. They have things like lists now. And again, it's all within the same email. So pretty interesting. A lot of this functionality, especially the buttons, the carousel, it looks like an RCS message. It would be really interesting too to see how these emails, this is on a desktop obviously, how these emails look on a mobile phone. Maybe it'll look even more similar. Maybe you can swipe through these emails. I haven't done much research into it, but I'm just kind of getting this video out here because I'd love to know your comments on how this will affect RCS business messaging from a competitive standpoint, because most of the time text message marketers, they're competing with email marketing. So very interesting. If you're not familiar with RCS messaging, this is what an RCS message looks like. You can see a carousel that you swipe, left or right. You have buttons down here. But as we're looking, looks relatively similar now in terms of the functionality. And they're really keeping the functionality and everything within either the email app or the messaging app, and then maybe at the very end, pushing them out to a mobile web experience. You can see also here, I'm guessing that eventually Google is going to add like Google Pay, just like they're doing for RCS, into the email. So eventually you could just click on this room right here, purchase it all within the email without actually leaving email, which makes email more valuable. Now, is it more valuable than RCS messaging? I'm not sure. I still haven't really thought about it too much. I'd love to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is this going to derail businesses adopting RCS business messaging? Are they going to put a lot of focus into email marketing the next couple of years because they have a new kind of toy to play with and they're going to forget about RCS business messaging or even text message marketing? Or is RCS a great experience and maybe even a better experience than what we have here, because maybe a little more messaging enabled? You can have a conversation, where email, it looks like the demo that you're seeing here, it's not having a conversation. It's like not conversational commerce. It's more like a mini web page. I don't know which is better. I'd love to know your opinion. A lot of people though are saying, well, Derek, look at the open rates of email. You can't really, put that cat back in the bag in terms of the decrease of email open rates over the last few years compared to SMS or text message marketing. Text message marketing, 90+% open rates for most campaigns, and we'll know a lot more about that with RCS messaging because it gives you the open rate, where right now those figures and statistics are coming from studies that have been done in the past for SMS and MMS. So if you look at like email, if I go to MailChimp's kind of report here, e-commerce is getting like a 15% open rate, entertainment and events 20%. So anywhere from like a 15% open rate compared to a 90+% open rate. We still, SMS, text messaging, RCS still beats email marketing in terms of open rates, but is the functionality better for this AMP email compared to RCS? These are things that the brand, the marketer is going to have to weigh and figure out which is important, which is not, and weigh each of those things to see which one is going to make the difference and what channel they're going to focus on for 2020 and forward. So I would love to know your guys' feedback. This is pretty early news. There's not many brands even using AMP email, just like there's not really many brands using RCS either. So it's really kind of at the starting of both of these kind of technologies. So it'll be interesting to see, especially if they're kind of starting at the same time, but each one has kind of legacy stuff that they're bringing along with it. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your feedback. Hope everyone is having a great day. And again, my name is Derek Johnson with Tatango.com.